So hi guys, in this video series we are going to see mean stack the CRUD app. Okay, so which means we are going to see mean in the using CRUD app actually. Okay, so this is what we are going to see, and as you can see here, this is the parameter which we need to pass for creating the user and updating the user. And these two things does not expect anything, so maybe we can say something like that. Okay, so maybe we can say this is the get method. Oh, for this thing I need to delete. Okay, fine. So for creating the user, this is the endpoint we need to create in our Expressjs, and for updating the user, this is the endpoint which we are going to create, and for listing the users, we are going to create this endpoint, and for deleting the user, we are going to create this endpoint. Okay, so this is what about the total agenda for this video. And one more thing, we are going to use mean stack. So mean stands for, you people know, MongoDB, Express, Angular, and Node.js. And one more thing, along with that, we are going to use Mongoose framework. So this is like a ORM of MongoDB. So instead of executing the query directly into the MongoDB from the Express, we are going to use in this framework. So which helps us to process the data. Okay, fine. So let me, as usual, we cannot create project directly. First, we need to init the node project in this folder. So here I will give npm init. So we're providing the command. It asks the package name and I'm mentioning as CRUD install, and it asks version and also. I don't want to give anything, so I'm just giving an enter. So this will create the application. That's it. Okay, as you can see here, the application is created. Okay, so now we need to install the Express in this project. So npm I think Express. So this will install the Express in our application. Yeah, the installation is completed. Okay, it is fine. So now the next one is, I think we can write our API. Okay, so as it is simple application, I am not going to create any separate folders. So I can directly create the file called API server.js. Okay, it is your wish, whatever the name you want, you can create. As I told, this is simple application. Don't think about the architecture, how we need to create all these things. This is like a simple application. Okay, first we need to create a object for the Express. Correct? Yeah. Okay. So next one is, but before that we need to include the Express. So using the require. I think yes, it is. I think this is what the basic step. Next step is we need to create a simple API. First we will create an API and we will check whether it is working fine or not. Okay. So this is a simple API as you can see here. And the second arrow function we are going to create for processing the request and response. So always it is a request command is. Okay. So here I will provide req. This is for processing the request, but I am going to send only the response. So send sample response. Okay, so here restart end. So end means it's ending the response. Okay, that's it. So here we need to start our server. So app.listen, we have to mention the port number. It is your wish, whatever the port number we want, we can mention it. I'm giving 8080 comma, this is the another callback. This is optional callback. I will mention console.log express is running on 8080. Okay, that's it. First we will check whether it is working fine or not. In order to run this application, we need to give the command called node express API server.js. Yeah, it is working fine. Now open the browser. As it is get method, we can directly use get method, otherwise we can go for postman also. Okay, let me open the postman. Okay, the postman is opening. Fine. So here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to give a simple get request, localhost 8080, and then okay, it is a get method. So I need to select the get in the postman, send request. Did I get anything? Yeah, it is working fine. As you can see here, sample response is coming. Okay, it is coming from the get method. Line number 5. We have added the sample response, so we are getting this response here. Okay, fine. So now we will go for our CRUD operations. Okay, this is the API we are going to create. I will comment and I will add this name. Okay, that's it. Okay, so now we are going to create all the four operations: creation, updation, listing the user, deleting the user. Okay, so I think get is already done. We can write it like user slash list. This is fine. Next one is app dot post. Here I can mention user slash create, and here I can mention this one. Here I can mention the same thing. I think the same will come here. So this one. Okay, so I think I will copy this one for update and delete. So user slash update and then user slash delete. Okay, so both will expect this path variable that we will see how to access these variables. Okay, as of now we are going to concentrate on the creating the record and listing the record from the Mongo database. Okay, I think the next thing is we need to connect the database. So the API creation is completed. So next we are going to connect the Mongo database. So okay, so the Mongo should be installed already in the system. So I'm not going to tell about how to install the Mongo and all. Okay, fine. So let me run the Mongo here. In case if you want to expect any basic tutorials of any this Angular or Express or anything, just let me know. Maybe if you want, I will do some other video series also. Okay, as of now I will run the MongoDB once again. So as I can see here, now my MongoDB is running. So I can open the tool called Compass, which is the default editor for MongoDB. So I am also using the same Compass tool. Once again. Okay, so this is the tool I'm using. By giving the connect, it connects to my local database where my Mongo is running. Okay, so let me minimize the command in Mongo database, Mongo server. Okay, this is the Mongo server. Okay, so here I can create a new database called CRUD app. So I'm creating CRUD app, and collection is the collection user. So in the CRUD database, we are having the user collection. Okay, so and one more thing, if as we know that we are going to use this Mongoose framework. So this Mongoose framework always store these collections in a plural form. So I should mention this as a rename. It should be in a, I don't know where I can rename this one. Okay, let me create a new collection here with the name of users create collection. So it creates this one. I can delete this one because of this Mongoose framework. It always stores in the plural form. I don't know why they are having this type of scenario. Okay, this Mongoose framework stores this collection in a plural form. Okay, so now we need to install the Mongoose library as well. So yes, let me go for the new terminal. So npm I Mongoose, I think so. I don't know. Let me try install. So fine. Okay. So we have installed the Mongoose library. Now we need to connect the Mongo database. So Mongo database already is running in my system. So as we all know, Mongo database will run on the port number 127, I think 01 something. Okay. So let us connect this Mongo with our application. So using this object mongoose dot connect, this function which helps us to connect the MongoDB. So the common connection strings are, one second, I will paste it here. Yeah. So this is the common connection string, and this we know this is the database name which we have created already in our Mongo database. Okay. And this table also having the users. Okay, let me give the configuration now. Okay. So here we are going to create a model, which means that ORM. So user equal to Mongoose. Okay, this user is our own name. So whatever the name we want, we can provide here. And model, here we can mention users. Okay, this is the table name or the collection name. Sorry, collection name. So which means this users, right? So the same name I'm providing here. Now we need to provide the field name. So like if you know MySQL, we need to create the field already, right? But here it is not the case. We don't need to create anything. Once again, let me delete some data here. Okay, so I need to mention some of the field which we are going to use in this API. Okay, name, email, mobile, date of birth. Okay, this is the field which we need to create. I think we can remove it as of now. Okay, so here name and then email. I need to mention the data type also. Let us wait. So let's see. So address and then DOB 123. I think it should have one more field called mobile as well. Okay, So that's it. So I will mention all this field as string alone. I'm not mentioning like string and string. I need to wrap with the double quotes as well. Oh my god. Okay, I think it is fine. Oh, here also the issue. Okay, and here also I need to wrap with the double quotes. Okay, everything's fine now. Okay, maybe this date of birth alone. Okay, that's it. So yes guys, as you can see here, now we have created the ORM for our table called users. Okay, now we will go for the creation of the user. So we already created the post method. So here we can add this query, use this object. Okay, so here I am mentioning const user object, whatever it may be, you can call it. Here new user, here we need to pass the value. Okay, so the value is nothing but these are the field we are having, right? I am just copy and I will paste it here, and we need to pass the value. Okay, so maybe I will make it as one by one for our understanding. Fine. So now we need to create a variables to receive the argument from the front end, correct? Because this is just a database call. So, but however, we need to mention this from the variable. Let name equal to this one. Let email equal to, let address equal to, let TOV equal to, let mobile equal to. Okay, so here I can mention request dot. Okay, so so now let me show one thing. So body equal to body. Okay, fine. So in this one, I'm going to mention this one body dot name. So fine. So here I will wrote the user object dot save. Okay, this will save the record in the, or you can say insert the record in the Mongodb. That's it. Okay, so now the next one is okay, so this request body, right, this comes from the, we can say access from the request. Okay, so here whenever we are sending the request body in the postman, so if we can go to the postman, whenever we want to send the record in the post method, we have the body and we have the option called the raw. Here we have to select the JSON and we need to pass the this argument, which means this name, email address, date of birth. I think we can mention it here also one more time. I think okay, this kind of okay, so here I need to mention this one instead of the string. Okay, so now it is fine. Maybe I will make it as one by one. Okay, so these are the field we are passing from the postman to our API. Okay, so the same thing will be applicable for front end also, which means if it is React or Angular, they will also pass the same structure. Okay, so now we are passing this value to the Express framework. Okay, but whenever we are using Express framework, they are Node.js, they cannot directly access this value as it is in a request body. Okay, so in order to access this value, we should add one more middleware called JSON actually. Okay, so the middleware is nothing but this is like a interceptor in the programming. So what this will do, this use is like whenever the request comes to our Express application, it just parse the request. Okay, so this is like a middleware in the middleware function here. Okay, so now using this function, what we are going to do, we are going to add one middleware for accessing the request body. Okay, it is must the middleware function for access the request body here. Okay, so this is what about the main thing here. This express.json which helps us to access the request body for our application. Okay, so this is what about the main thing here. Now what we are going to do, this express.json, I think this is the one line is enough. This line will help us to parse all this requests to our application. If we just add this one time, it is enough. So whenever we are having a create and update and delete everywhere, it will, if we are passing the request body, automatically it receives the data. Okay, Fine. So now I think we can. Okay. So now we can able to access the request from the request body, and we are assigning this thing, and we are saving into the database. And the last, we will send the appropriate message. Res dot send. Here we can mention. Okay. I'm just manually adding this one as like data inserted successfully. Okay. And so here we can say res dot end. That's it. Okay. So that's all. So this is how we can end the request and everything. Okay. So I again, guys, as I told this, I am not handling any error scenario or what will happen if this value is not sending. All the scenarios I'm not handling. I'm just handling only the happy flow here. Okay. So first we are going to check this create method, and we will do one by one. Okay. So first let me run the application. Let's see how it works. So let me restart the application. So as we know, super, we are having some issue. What is this issue? Fine. So now let me run the application. App is not defined because I have commented unknowingly. So let me do this thing. Okay. Yeah. So now the application is working fine. Go to the postman and let us give the request. Okay. So here I can mention create and yes, fine. So here I will give the value for this name. So test name, test email at gmail.com, and here we can say test address, and I can use some other different date of birth. Mobile number I am providing some different one. Okay, so let me send the request and let's see if it is working. Yeah, we got the message of data inserted successfully, and go to this Mongo campus, refresh the database and check it is working. Let me refresh it. Okay, yeah guys, it is working fine. As you can see here, whatever the data I have provided in the postman, test name, email address, date of birth, mobile, everything is working fine without any issues. Okay, so maybe we will check one more thing also. Maybe like test name, the date is February 18, and here also February 18, and here also I'm mentioning February 18. Sorry. Okay, I think here 18. Okay, so I need to add this comma here. Okay, now let me send that. Okay, if you look at this Mongo campus, we are having only one data, correct? If I give the request, I will give some other date. Okay, data inserted successfully. Go to the database and refresh it. Yes. So yes, guys, as you can see here, now whatever the record we have provided in the create, it is working fine. Okay. So this is how we can perform this creating the record. Now the next scenario is listing the users. Okay, whatever the users available in the database, that we need to list it here. Okay. For listing the user, using this user, we can easily access the value. Okay, so I think here what we can do, user dot find, this helps us to get all the users with the empty parameters. So let user list, I think that's it. I think this will help us to get the data, and here I will pass this one. That's it. I think so. Let's see. I think this is enough. That's it. So we don't need to send any other parameters. Sorry, any other logic here, because we are get all the data. So get all the users in the um, database, or we can say the Mongo database. Okay, fine. So now we have done the change. So what we can do here, we need to restart the application, as we know, because we need to use some node man. I think some library will be available to automatically restart. Okay, so now we need to go for get, right, user slash get. Okay, user slash list. Okay, I need to use some slash here. Okay, one second guys. Okay, so let me send why is converting structure to JSON. So this is not a direct response. Okay, I just okay, it's like a wait. Okay, it should be like this only. So yes, that's what I just confused. Okay, this is a promise, by the way. Yeah. So this is a promise, which means it may take some time to get the response. So we are making this request as async request, and we are making to wait till the result comes. So once the result comes only, it goes to the next line. So this is the reason we are using await and async. So now go to this postman, refresh it, and as you can see here, whatever the record available in the Mongo database inside the CRUD collection, we can able to get the data. That's it. Okay. So this is what about the getting the record. Maybe I will do one more time. I will give one more request here. So this one, and I don't want to change anything. Like this one, send data inserted successfully, and send, as you can see here, the third record is also showing here. Okay, that's it. So this is how we can creating the record, listing the record. I think the next one is about the, shall we see about the deleting the record. So as we know, for the delete the record, we need to pass only the ID. So this is the ID. ID is nothing but, if you look at the postman result, each record is having the ID, right? So using the ID, we can easily delete the record for the particular user. First, we have to receive the ID. So we can say user ID equal to request, I think params, I think so. Params, this is the default one. Next one is the ID. Okay, this will help us to get the ID. So here we can say app dot user dot find user. This user is nothing but the above object. So this one, I think using this one we can easily identify the user. User dot find by ID and delete. Here we can mention user ID. That's it. Okay. So yes, this will delete the data by ID. Okay. So as usual, last thing is we need to pass the message. So this is the message. So data deleted, we can say user deleted successfully, and user dot end, and this one I think, okay, wait, it's throwing error. Okay, yeah, okay. So this is what about the deleting the record. So shall we test it now? So deleting the third scenario. So let me close it. Let me run one more time. And yes, this is ID. I don't know, is it working fine or not? Let's see. So, and one more time, delete is, for delete we are using a delete. I think we can use delete method itself. Okay. Fine. So let me console. Okay. So yes, I can provide the delete here, and this is the ID. Super ID not incomplete. So copy this URL, go to postman, and here we can mention delete slash, the delete ID is this one. This is sorry. Go to the postman and paste it. Send the request. User deleted successfully. Oh, spelling mistake. DLETED. Okay. Now go to the database. So we are having, okay, why we need to go for database? We can see it in the here itself. So let me send the request. Super, it is not deleted. Once again. Super. Okay, it is not deleted. Why it is not deleted? I hope so. This is not received properly. Maybe this request, I think dot params will come. Yeah, okay. But I don't know what is the difference. Okay. I think now it might work. Okay, guys, let me try. Go to the delete method, delete mapping, send it. Okay, I think now it will not, it will be deleted. Refresh it. So guys, here I just added the async and await method here for deleting. I think now we will see how it works. Okay, I'm having two records here. Copy this ID, go to the delete method, give this value here, give a second. User is deleted successfully. Go to the get users, send. Yes, I'm having only one record. Okay, so as you can see here, maybe we will do one more registration. So yes, this is registration and data inserted successfully. Go to the get and send yes, two records is having. Okay, so now I am going to delete this record. So give this ID in the URL. So delete, send, yes, user deleted successfully. That's it. Okay, so this is how we can delete the record and insert the record and then listing the records. Okay, the last scenario is going to update the users. Okay, so update the user means, as we know, update can be done only for the existing users, correct? So for update, as we know, we have to pass this ID in this path variable or in the request itself. It's your wish. Maybe I am using in the request itself because we don't want to create a new path variable. Okay, so the same, whatever we have done for the creation, right, the same thing will be applicable. Only thing is here we should use one more argument called ID. So this alone we have to mention it here. ID, this ID, and this ID. Okay, so fine, 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 fine. Okay, so this ID, copy this one. And okay, first one is here we should find the user, then only we can go for the update, correct? So here what we can do, we don't want to mention all these things, so let me remove everything. Here user dot find by ID, here we need to mention the ID called this ID. Okay, so the next one is about, here we need to, okay, already found the user, this is the existing user, existing user. Okay, sorry, spelling mistake, ing, oh my god, existing user. Now we are going to set the value. So here what we are going to do, we need to check whether the value is not empty, then only we can go for update, correct? If name not equal to empty, which means if the request does not empty only, we are going to update the name. User object dot uh, name equal to name, that's it. Okay, so update only when the request has the value. Okay, I think this is not the proper way. I think this should be in the um, I think this is also not the proper way of accessing the value. The reason is uh, if the user not sending the value, then what will happen? So here what we can do, we will check body has own property. This is the method PART-1 has own property, which helps us to check whether the particular object is exist or not. Then if it has own property, then here we are going to access the value body of name and assign to this object. Okay, so the same thing I will do it for email also. So here I am checking email, and if it has email, then only we'll go for the email. Okay, first let us check whether the updation is happen or not for these two variables, then we will add this scenario others as well. Okay, so here as you can see here, it will update the record because we are this user object reference to the existing record, so it will not create the new one. This will update the record data. We can say user updated successfully. Okay, so user updated successfully, and that's it. Okay, so now let me API server.js, and yes, everything is working fine. Here we can mention user.update. Okay, so this ID is not available. Let me get the request, send the request, and yes, this is the request copy. And here in the request body, we can mention okay. So here I can mention the ID. This is the ID, and here we can select the JSON. Okay, and this one. So comma and okay, whatever the name or whatever the field we want, we can update. Okay, I'm giving a update test. Okay, this is the field which I want to update here, and as we know, this has to be post method. Is it correct? Right? Yeah, this is the post method and user slash update. And this is not needed. So user slash okay, yeah, it is not needed. Let me remove it. Everything is fine. Now let me do Control C, refresh it, and here name update test. Okay, so let me send the request. Send. Is it? We are getting ID is not defined. Super. Because we have commented this one. Okay, fine. Now let me refresh it. API server, send the request. Save is not the function. Why? Any spelling mistake? We should be use async method because I just forget here. Async, because we are using find by ID, right? We need to make it, we should make this to wait till it gets a result. So we are using async and await. I think now it works. Okay. So now it works. Let me restart the application. Yeah. So where is the browser? Sorry, Postman. Send the request. User updated successfully. So let me go to the Postman itself to check whether it is updated or not. Okay. This user, we have updated the name. Yeah, it is working fine. As you can see here, the name is updated. Okay, so our scenario is working fine. And we should make sure that existing records should not get updated. Okay, this is what about the main scenario in update. Okay, because whenever we are updating, right, it should update only the particular field. It should not update everything. Okay, so as far as I know, it is working fine. So we should use the same condition for other fields also. So email, mobile address, date of birth, and address. Okay, so whatever the field we are sending, only that field alone will get update, others will not get update. Okay, address, address, and address. The same thing for DOV. And what is the next one? Mobile number. So which is called mobile number. That's it. Okay, so I hope this will work for update also. So mobile, date of birth, date of birth, date of birth, and yes, everything is working fine. Now let me shut down and restart the server. We will do one more update for the email alone for the same user. Okay. So here I will mention the email. So here I will mention test update at gmail.com. Okay. Now we will see what is his email, the existing email for this user. Okay. His email is test email. So I am going to update as test update at gmail.com. Give send. As you can see, user updated successfully. So yes, next one is listing the users. Yes, test update at gmail.com. That's it. Okay. So now as you can see here, guys, our 4 operations are completed, which means creating the record, deleting the record, updating the record. Okay. So in terms of in the main stack, the node express Mongodb is completed. Now we are going to integrate with our is it React or Angular? I forget. Yeah, it is Angular video series. So we are going to interact this API with our Angular as well as React. Okay, so both these applications we are going to integrate with this same module. So maybe in the description I will give you the comment for video link for both React and Angular. Okay, so we will see there. Okay, so if you have any doubts, you can just post in the comments, and if you any suggestions or anything, you can just post in the comments. And yes, guys, so for the React and Angular, I will give you the comment, the video link in the comment, how to integrate the application with this one. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.